Okay, to start off blinging, I have a wood letter that I painted with acrylic paint. I got this from Michael's. I painted both sides, but we're only going to be blinging this side and the outsides of this. So to start off, I have my rhinestones. My main size stone I will be using is SS16. These are SS12, SS6, and SS3. I'm just using these as filler stones. I really don't need this many, but I have them out already, so why not? We're going to need our glue today. I will be using Clean the Bling from Bling Up. You will need wax pencils. You can get those off of Amazon and my storefront. And that's pretty much it. You need whatever you're blinging and yada yada yada. That's it. So I'm going to be showing you the honeycomb method. The honeycomb method is my tried and true. Is what I like. So what I do, keyword me, I like to start off by outlining my project. So that means all this perimeter around it, I'm going to outline it with my main size stone. And this is my main size, the SS16. So I'm just going to take my glue. I'm just going to go across right here. And this is only the first section. I'm only going to do this top part. I mean, put a thin line of glue at this top part first, because I don't want to do too much. And if you can't handle this much, because the glue, well, every glue dries different. Read the what your glue is made for on your on the description. Excuse me, I'm fumbling my words. So if you can't bling that fast, stop your glue shorter. So I'm going to start off at this corner. I'm just placing that down there. You see that? Let me zoom y'all in. Zoom, 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 zoom. So I place my stone right there. I'm placing my other one, my next one, right next to it. You see how it's touching right next to each other. It's not on top of each other, and we're just going to repeat that process. You want to keep our lines straight as possible, because this is our foundation for the rest. You see how I'm keeping them nice and tight, but I'm not squishing them together. I'm not making them like buckle up or nothing. Just right there. And we're going to continue and do this, and it's going to give us our foundation for when we go in and honeycomb. And I'm making sure I get as close to this edge as possible. I actually might just go over a little off of it and just slide my finger down and line them up in place so I can have a nice even row. And that's all you do. This is a wax pencil. It allows you to pick up your rhinestone. It's like, I don't know. I don't know the science behind it. I'm not no chemist, no scientist, and none of that. But it allows you to pick up your stone, and as soon as you place it in the glue, it releases it easily. Some people like to use tweezers. If you use a tweezer, I don't know. You dangerous. I can't do that. So, and be sure to take your time. It's not a race at the beginning. I mean, the more you do it, the faster you will get. So this is Bling 101, Craftiana. And you want to make sure you just place it and go. Place it, and we try not to do that. Try not to do that. Because when you get glue on top of your rhinestone, it dulls it. And it makes your rhinestone, sometimes it can make it cloudy depending on what type of glue. So you want to be careful with that. And the wax pencil, it will kind of rub off on some of your rhinestones, especially if you're trying to move it with it. My favorite is these type of wax pencils. They have all these other glamorous pencils and stuff that you could use, but I don't like them. These old school, especially when you're using finer, smaller rhinestones like SS6 and SS3, you can sharpen these to a really fine point, and it will get the job done. So I'm just continuing to place these one by one, making sure they're touching, trying not to drag them. I'm trying to place them right where I want them and not move them too much, but sometimes, stuff happens and you gotta move it and adjust it. But try your best to place it where you want to, so you won't be dragging that glue all around. And you see, if I have it over, I'm just sliding my finger across this edge to make sure it's not hanging over and the line is straight. We're almost completed with this first row. Now, some people, they would just go in a honeycomb, but I like to do my whole perimeter first, because I like to see this job done, okay? I like to see my main size stone all over. And this is really easy work. Blinging is not that hard, it just requires a lot of patience. That's it. Okay, now we have this first row done. You see that? That's nice and neat. And blinging black on black is kind of tricky because sometimes it can mess with your eyes. We have that first row done. Now we're just going to do the same thing. I'm going to go down here, here around all on the outside of this, and we'll be back to show you how I do that. Well, not to show you how, we'll be back after I did that. Okay, we're almost done with the outline, so I'm just continuing the same thing I was doing with the SS16 stone and making sure I keep that nice and neat. Lay a thin strip of glue and put my rhinestone down. Pick it up and put it down. Pick it up and put it down, Craftiana. And that's all. You want to make sure you get these curves because we want to see all the details. Even though it's not a detail like inside of this letter, it's just like a solid color. I'll show you what I did with an actual design and pattern in it, but we're going to teach you the basics first, honey. Okay, teaching you the basics first, daughter. Pick it up and put it down. And sometimes you get these little strings from whatever glue you use, and some glues are just stringier than the other, okay? And it's kind of annoying, but you know, pick them off after you're done, because we don't want to give them to our customers or whoever with all them strings and stuff. And now you see how we have that little spot? That's not going to fit, so I'm going to take a smaller stone. This is my SS12 and plop that right there. All good in love and war, whatever Tamar said. So let me zoom that out just a little bit. Oh, that's not zoom. So here's the finished product. Not the finished product. What am I talking about? So here's it all outlined. And I'm going to let that dry before I go in and fill in the rest. I let it dry because I don't want none of this moving when I'm actually having the honeycomb inside of there. So we're going to let that dry and we'll be back. We back. So I let that dry for a little bit. So I laid a little strip of glue. I didn't put too much. I usually would go all the way across, but for demonstration purposes, this is where we are. So we're going to take our stone and we're going to place it in between 1 and 2. There's a little crevice. That stone should be nudged right in there. So I place it right in between. And this is the honeycomb pattern. You see, it goes in between the top 2 stones above it. 1 and 2 is like a little crevice. You place your stone right in there. So you see that open space right there? I don't think an SS16 will fit in there. So I want to take my SS12 or whatever size filler stone that will fit and place it there. Because the SS16 will be too big for that corner. And we're just going to continue with our SS16 down the row. So I just place and drop. So I always like to start at the second stone to where I know the full size stone will fit. Because I would like to get a gauge of what size stone I could fit there. So, and I'm making sure I just push that into that little crevice. Don't push too hard where it's knocking your work out of place. And voila. So I'm going to put another line of glue all the way down this time. See, this glue is giving me problems today. I'm going all the way to this corner because I want to finish this up. And here we are. Just place. And with time comes speed, okay? I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm still not the fastest blinger. I consider myself to be a slow blinger, actually. But, you know, you'll get a feel for it. And once you really get in your zone, you'll start relaxing. And try not to do what I'm doing. Sometimes I accidentally place it too low and slide it up. Try to place it exactly where you want it to be. Okay, because you sliding that glue on, and it causes glue where it don't need to be yet. And you're going to have to put more glue on top of that. We don't want to do that, but it'll be alright. So just place right in between those little 2 notches. And your second row should be slightly touching each other, not sitting on top of each other. And that everything has its place and has a space. Oh, I hope y'all can see good. I hope I'm zoomed in enough. I'm trying to get better, Craftiana. And I'm trying to have more videos coming out. Okay. So give me a follow. And you can follow me on my other pages. On my other socials. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. All brand so crafty. So we're at that edge. And of course, a SS16 is not going to fit there. Or a SS12. So I'm going to go in with this SS6. I'm going to pop one right there. Actually, I'm going to pop two. And now that edge is taken care of. We have our second row complete. We're going to do the same thing for our third row. It's just a repetitive process. We're going to put a line of glue down. And then go in with our rhinestone. Rhinestone. I put it there. Then the SS16 here. It can't fit there. So I'm going to go in with the, I think this is a SS3. I'm going to place a 3 there. I'm going to slide that up into that other rhinestone. I'm going to put another 3 there to fill that gap. And that's taken care of. Now we're just going to go on down and continue our next row. And that's all it is, a repetitive process, repeating your rows. Now this is an unusual shape. It's not like a solid square where you just honeycomb or our way straight across. We're going to have to do some finessing around these curves, but I'll show you how to handle that once we get there, Craftiana. So until you get to about here, your rows will be straight of just regular what I'm doing now. And that's really pretty much it. Now, it's a time-consuming process, so get you some patience, put you some music on, put you a show on or something, honey, and just get to work. And, you can take breaks as you need it. You ain't got to do all of this at one time. Okay, and that's how you do that. We're going to finish up this row, and I'm going to get to about there, to right here, and I'll be back and show you how to handle it. So we got to the point where we can't fully go across no more. Now it's broken up into two sections, this side and this side. So all we're going to do is continue our honeycomb this way. And then we're going to fill in this side. So I'm going to do this side first and this side. Let me show you what I mean. So as you can see, a SS16 isn't going to fit in this little crevice. So a filler stone will go there, but we still need to put glue there. And we're just going straight across as we were, honey, Craftiana. And we're going to take that to the edge. And I'm going to start where I can fit a SS16, which is my main size stone I'm using. You don't got to use SS16. You can use SS20. So a SS16 fits perfectly there. So I'm just going to do that. And then in this little section where it won't fit, I'm going to put, let's see if an SS12 will fit here. Don't force it in. If it don't fit, it won't fit, okay? So I'll put that SS12 there. I'm going to go in with the SS6. It fits there. Then I'm going to put an SS3 in this little bitty tiny space. So now that part is taken care of. Actually, I could put another SS3 in this little gap right here. Uh-oh, it flipped. Let's flip it upside down with my weeding tool. Actually, I need to put a dot of glue there because there's none there. Try to get those little strings out the way. Let me adjust those rhinestones back in place because I done knocked out shoots. Be careful because you see I'm over here tearing stuff up. I'm tearing it up, Craftiana. Let me find me another SS3. I'm just putting it in that little gap. Now that section is filled in. And I'm just going to honeycomb what I was doing back to filling in this pattern. And don't worry, wax and stuff will get on top of your rhinestones, especially it shows more up on black. But baby, we're going to wipe that down at the end once it's fully dry and done. Once it's finished, but after it dry, we ain't going to touch it until it's dry. And clean up any little excess glue marks and residue that's on here, okay? So that's all you do. And you repeat the process. And that's how you get around stuff that's like not one straight circular motion or a solid square or something. And at this corner, we put our filler stone. Voila. So let me show you that again. that row is complete, I'm going to take my glue into that little bitty crevice where a SS16 won't fit. And I'm just going down, Craftiana. I swear you could do this, homie. Chicka grill. Our dudes, you know, I'm sorry I call y'all all Craftiana, okay? It's a gender neutral term. It's not that deep for me, okay? Plot my SS16 where it fit. It won't fit there, so I'm going to put it there. I'm going to put an SS12 here. I'm just filling it in with whatever size stone will fit, okay? It might not look the same for you. Whatever size stone that will fit. It's not going to always be the same size. And we just bling on down the road. And we're going to do that until this whole little section is filled up. And then we're just going to continue down over here. And it's the same process. Ugh. Y'all could do this. Y'all ain't got to make stuff hard, Craftiana. Okay, get you some rhinestones. Find you a vendor if you're not local to a store like me. And if you check out my TikTok and my Instagram, I'll show you where I'll go to shop for rhinestones. It's called Planet Rhinestone Axiland. These rhinestones came from Axiland. And that's that. We'll be back when it's filled up. Wrapping up this section, we near the end of it, so I'm just feeling. It's the same stuff over and over, Craftiana. Blinging is not hard. It just is what it is. Placing that stone in between. I don't know why I placed that one right there, but if your honeycomb is right, you can place it anywhere and it'll fit. Cause it's the same pattern. Okay, you get me? Filler stone goes there because we can't fit anything else there. Let's go SS3. Because I don't feel like adjusting and shifting. Voila. You see that? Wham. 16 there. Let's put some fillers there. Now, this is just how I bling. Keyword I. You know, people have different methods and different ways they do stuff. Some people would have just not outlined. Or some people would do section by section. Just a honeycomb here. Whatever works for you, doll. This just what works for me, and I'm just showing you what I work for me there. Ooh, y'all, I'm so hungry. And I gotta go to the gym tonight because I'm trying to get the body right. Because summer, I'm gonna be outside doing God knows what. But it's gonna be done. It's gonna be done, okay? And for my birthday, oh my gosh, I just found out Duran Bernard, his new album is amazing. Y'all should check that out. But he's having a concert in LA on my birthday, like the actual day. Like, I want to be there. But I also want to go out of town, so we gonna see. I'll probably end up there, though. We gonna see. I keep getting these stones stuck to my hand. Oh, shoot. But I really do want to go to that concert, but I also want to go to World Pride. It's in D.C. on my birthday, too. Oh, but I really want to see him out here. Like, that would be so lovely. I mean, why am I knocking all these stones out? Okay, we're getting to our last row in this little section. So I'm going to put my glue down, but as you can see, a SS16 is not going to fit in here. So we're going to have to go in with some smaller stones, our SS12, SS6s. So I'm taking my SS12, we're going to plop that in here. Because nothing else ain't going to fit. Not a bigger stone. And we're going to put some SS6s in here. Most of it's going to be SS6 because 12, 12 ain't really fitting either. So we're just going to put a row of SS6s. As much as SS12 we could have got. Let's keep that nice and neat. Wham. Wham. I'm going to put one more right here. Bam, and that section is done. So this is where we at right now. You see that? Get into that. That's what that looks like. And now we're just going to go in and do the same thing for this part and just take our way down. And that's it. We working our way down this stem now. It's really nothing to it but to do it. What y'all up to? Where y'all from? I'm from LA if y'all didn't know. And yes, you could custom order with me. You can email me, message me on my social medias, or some stuff is on my website and my Etsy shop. And also, what y'all want to see? Okay? Because I could do a lot of stuff. It ain't gonna just be all bling. I do a lot of glitter stuff, a lot of cups. And honestly, I do more than that. I be crafting out here in these little crafty streets when I got time. I'm trying to learn how to sew, y'all. Like, I started like over maybe 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Oh, yeah. Yeah, almost 2 years ago, I started teaching myself how to sew. So I taught myself the basics, but I never got like really good because I wasn't able to be consistent. So I know the basics of sewing, but I'm not good at it. I don't like pattern making and all that yada yada. I'm not good at sewing. Like, I really know how to do the bare minimum on a machine. And yeah, somebody help me. I need to find some time to sew. Because right now, all I'm doing is blinging and glittering, but I want to make my garments and be fab like the rest of the dolls. Ease on way. Ease on. What am I singing? Ease on down the road. Oh. Child. I'm glad this black base. So I base painted this black. It was white at first, and I just took some acrylic paint and I painted the front and the back. I did like 3 coats to get this full coverage. But when you're blinging, you want to base paint whatever you're working on to match the color of your rhinestone. It helps disguise like the little gaps and stuff. But there will be gaps, no matter how much of a perfect blinger you are. There will be some type of gaps. Okay, rhinestones. They both may be SS16, but they might have came from two different cuts, or 2 different shipments, or 2 different suppliers, and so sometimes they're going to be slightly bigger, slightly smaller, slightly yada 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 yada. So be wary of that. I don't know if that's the right word, but be mindful. So you get the best outcome and the best look overall. That's what we're going for. We want the best aesthetic. It may not be as perfect as you want it, but it's going to be fab at the end of the day, Craftiana. So we're just continuing that honeycomb pattern. That's all it's doing. Until we get to here, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to extend whatever line we're working on. Ooh, child. I really need a meal. I know I said that about twice. But baby, the stomach is like, feed me now. Feed me. Voila. So we just continue honeycombing our way down until we get to this section. Now, once I get to this section, I'm going to slightly edge my glue out past that first rhinestone on that row that is above. I'm taking it past and I'm adding a stone that's right on the outside of that last one. I'm going to keep doing that row by row to extend these lines. So I'm going out and out and out and out. And then I'm going to add a dot of glue next to the previous stone in the previous row to fill that out. And we're continuing our honeycomb pattern. So I'm taking that glue around because I want to put a stone all around there, because eventually I want all that face to spilled up, but be filled up, but I want to honeycomb as much as possible. Okay, Craftiana, I'm trying to give the neatest and the greatest showman look of all. Okay, so I'm just continuing that process and extending, and you see it's starting to fill up. So we got as much as possible. So we're filling in those little 2 gaps with filler stones and SS16, our main side stone and filler stones, just to have that section done. And that's about it. On my head up in a way, sometimes I can back up. I mean, we feeling it nice, right, and tight because we want to have neat work. And sometimes don't press in there and try to force a stone in there, because that's just going to create problems that you don't want. So after that, we just honeycomb our way down, back down this main straight part. Easy work, easy work, easy work. And we're almost near and dear to the end, honey. I mean, you really can do this. Line the glue, place your stones, place the filler where it needs to be, and make sure it's neat. And make sure you're not putting too much glue. Too much glue will raggedy you up, okay? And you just do this over and over. So once I get to a certain point down here, when it starts opening up too wide, I'm going to start building my way up from the bottom to the top. Because I mean, I could extend my way out like I did for that previous section, but when we got a big old bulky base row down here, we can just extend our way and meet me. Why don't you just meet me in the middle sometimes? I mean, like, why not? So as you can see, I'm making sure everything is neat and tight. So now I'm taking my way from the bottom up because I just got about done with that straight part that's all the same size. So we're just going to honeycomb our way up. And it's the same thing that we did up, but we're just moving in a different direction. Okay, once we get to the last row of where we can fit a full SS16, we're going to go in with whatever smaller filler sizes that will fit up in that area. I mean, SS12, SS3, SS6, whatever's going to fit, and we're just going to fill in that little gap. Now we're going to go along the edge and the border because the top part is done now. Hey, now we made it through the biggest part. I like to bling my edges of wood letters. You don't got to. This is definitely personal preference, but I pretty much do the same thing that I did to the top. I go in with a base row and I just honeycomb around, and you could fit as many rows as possible. But now I only did 3 rows. Some people would have put a filler stone but at the end of that third row, but I didn't. I just decided to leave it 3 rows, and it was just a little space from the edge, but it's gonna be on the wall, so it'll look flush anyway. So you just repeat that process on the edge, and be careful. Make sure all your stones is dry before you start touching and moving stuff, because if your stones aren't fully dry at the top, you can move and mess up your pattern, and you don't want those issues. Crafty, and I've been there, done that. So I'm trying to protect you and save you some headache and heartache. Okay, as you can see, it fit 3 good rows, and I'm just honeycombing my way on down, placing in between, stacking it at that, and we're almost done. This is the whole edge. That's all it is. And if you're new here, my name is Brand So Crafty. It's a fine time to say this at the end of the video, huh? Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms. And tell me what you want to see. Like, if you want a tutorial specific things, I'm open to ideas and suggestions because I will make the video. I mean, I'll try my best. If it's something in my wheelhouse, I can do a lot of things, epoxy and bling. If it's something specifically you want to see blinged out, just let me know. If it's a specific type of cup or whatever, cricket tutorials, you know, I got you, boo. So we're just finishing this up and wrapping this up and making sure it's nice, right, and tight. And we're about to be at the finished product. Can you like and subscribe and comment on the video? Follow me on socials because here's the finished product. I wish I didn't put it on a black background, but you see it's nice and shiny. Thank you for watching.